It is time for everybody's favorite part of the show, favorite segment, and it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week. So here's an account called Dave Dirtsheet Dave. But Dave Meltzer has now imagined into existence an army of people who said that Lucha Libre does not draw in Mexico and then started to rant about them. The man needs help. So Meltzer goes, somebody needs to, explain to these people that this stuff doesn't draw money nor, appeal to the casual fan. Batman, actually, please don't, ruin this mantra by saying there are 15,000 to 25,000 fans every week in this arena alone, and more true casuals than any place in the world watching live. But some fans will then say it's not fair and it doesn't count. So this guy says, oh my goodness, with what a great sequence for a near fall right there. I don't know, man. Meltzer is just imagining it, like this person said, that there's people out there saying, oh, Mexico doesn't draw. And if they do draw, and it doesn't draw in America, Dave, just because it draws, go report on Mexican wrestling, Dave. Conan's putting on, sorry, I'm smoking that Perry pack, okay? Smoking on that Davy Wavy right now in Minecraft, okay? Listen, Conan puts on big shows all the time. Report on that. If the flippy say the Bucks should move to Mexico. Wouldn't that be great? Put on masks. AEW Neckbeard says, Will Ospreay must be the greatest wrestler of all time. So Inside the Rope says, Will Ospreay now has 42 matches rated 5 stars or higher. That's more than Okada. Hold on. We got to do this correctly. That's more than Okada, Ric Flair, Kurt Angle, HBK, Steve Austin, Chris Jericho, Edge, Triple H. I said Triple H. I said H. I said H. I said 3 H's. And The Rock combined, dude. All of them combined. It's also more than the whole of WWE, WCW, ROH, Jim Crockett Promotions, TNA, and ECW combined. All of those promotions combined don't have as many stars as Will Ospreay. Are you kidding me? 42 matches rated 5 stars. Dude, I don't think I've even seen 42 5-star, honest 5-star matches in my life. If I boiled them down, Great. And remember what I told you earlier about Dave rating that Cody match 4.25. Don't forget that, okay? And I'm not sure. So Meltzer said what the GOAT says, Dave, you are either a complete fraud and willful I can't even talk. I'm Meltzering, my word. Dave, you are either a complete fraud or willfully ignorant, or you have the cognitive decline of an Alzheimer's patient. If the latter, I apologize. Yeah, true that, because that could be real, dude. You know perfectly well that this September SmackDown was not going to do the best number since the SmackDown after Mania on Fox. Meltzer saying, SmackDown did 1.72 million and a 5.5 demo or whatever the stupid means. Meltzer, shut the fuck up. Anyways, I'd consider that excellent, even with the return of Reigns and the title cage match, especially for a Friday. Same show on Fox would probably be in the 2.4 to 2.5 million range. So let's say 70%, meaning normal, in the 1.5 million range, I think. We'll know normal in a few. What is this guy talking? What? It's just like, I'm sure Phil? I'm sure he'd break down the maths, but it's just like, you just shut up. Like, what are you talking about? God. Some guy for $2 says Meltzer must have played WCW NWO Revenge a lot. LOL. Yeah. Me too, bud. Me too. Yeah, wait till Ospreay versus Ricochet. He's going to give it 8 million stars. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. I appreciate it. Woo! Yeah, I just don't know. We're going to read more of that. It makes my head hurt. And then, of course, Meltzer said what? Like, he, as the GOAT does, he like refers back to himself. to win this moment when, wait a second, I thought when SmackDown moved to FS1, AEW only had a 6% advantage on TNT. Now, if AEW moved to FS1, they wouldn't get anywhere near the ratings on TBS or TNT. Funny how that works. But now people are trying to say, so here's even Meltzer saying this, right? This is a year ago, right? 2023 is where Meltzer said, what has it? And then he goes back even further to 2021. Meltzer said, what the goat, man? Let's go. So, man, me and Meltzer said, what are like the mega powers, dude? Hogan and Mach, just together, we're going to, he's got it down on Twitter. I just quote tweet Dave stuff and put a flute and just laugh. And you guys already know what I'm talking about when I do that. You don't even have to say anything. You guys know I'm going to do it on the show. Meltzer said what? He's out there putting puzzle piece and he's DMing me. Whenever he has a drop like this too, he DMs it directly to me. And then always, if he needs more he even like theorizes to me on the low before he goes out with it too. I love the man, shout you out. He'll never come on the show. He does not give about making anything about him. He just loves poning Meltzer. So anyways, basically he goes back and just shows how Wavy Davey himself was talking about how AEW, if they go to FS1, it'll be an L. And then now all this time later, they're trying to spin it like Fox is a W and all. It's not. Speaking of which, as we move along, Steiner math. We got Steiner math. Great. Yeah, actually, if 1.5 in a 5.5 demo would be a 2.5, if 70% of the 1.5 went back to the 2.9. Fucking madness. Thank you for the super chat, Jamie Earhart. Wrestle Talk TV. Support Wrestle Talk, says Dave Meltzer believes AEW's rumored new show airing on the Fox network is a long shot. With FS1 a more likely destination, stating that the company would need to treat it as an A show on par with Dynamite if it were to land on Fox. Well, exactly. And what do you mean? They already treat Dynamite like a piece of show anyways. That's the thing, man. Like, they already treat Dynamite like, so what are you talking about, Dave? They'd have to treat it like Dynamite. What? Like a piece of, like some shit that no one cares about? Like an empty ass dark building? Like what do you mean? Like craziness. But anyways, if it goes on FS1, they will be like, it's the highest rated, it's breaking FS1 records. That'll be the spin. And guys, what, because they're not drawing on FS1, doesn't draw, there's no show, it doesn't have on there. And when WWE goes on there, maybe I'm misspeaking too. I gotta listen to Eric Bischoff. That's what I'll tell you. He did him, and it wasn't Conrad. Oh, come on, that's not very fair, Phil. You're promoting the episode I wasn't on. But yeah, Conrad wasn't there. It was someone else, and it was a wise choices with Bischoff. And they break it down way better than I can on the TV side. Eric did these deals, bro. So funny, people get triggered by him of all people. I get Cornette. I get you could get triggered by Cornette because he's old school and people can go, oh, well, he's the old wrestling and he's just being outrageous for and all that. Eric's not. He's just looking at this like, dude, I did this already. Like, will you listen to me? How do I know? Because I did it and it failed and I came so close, Have you ever tried something and tried it again and then you did it? I don't know what to compare it to. Like a video game, you're playing Crash Bandicoot Slippery Slope and you almost beat it, but you gotta bounce on those bats or whatever a little. You got to do it one more time again just to really beat the level because you just came up short a little bit. Like I don't get why people get so mad at Eric. But anyways, yeah, Dave says, or Wrestling Observer says, I think that would be a long shot at best, blah, blah, blah. As far as FS1, they would pay far, far less. You're talking about 20 to 30. Dave's making numbers up out of his ass. It's so funny, too, because Dave's always like, I was laughing with TV execs today. And it's like, well, then why don't you know anything? Why don't you ever know what the going on with any of this stuff? You're not accurate about any of it, to say the least. And somehow you are laughing it up, drinking tea, eating crumpets with TV execs. Weirdo. Dave Meltzer has highlighted the positive impact that well, good. He's admitting something here. So is Dave Meltzer's smart moment of the week. WWE and TNA popping myself over here. The WWE stuff with TNA has definitely helped them on pay-per-view. Their PPV number was way up on the last PPV, not this show, Victory Road, but the one before. It was up for Victory Road too. The house was up. At least they're the tapings they're doing with TNA are outdrawing AEW shows, so Dynamites. So their live attendance the last couple shows, they used to get 500 to 800 on these pay-per-views. Now they're 2,000 selling out. It's a positive. Oh, it's a positive. That's Dave just whipping. Yeah, it's a, it is a positive.
Emotional damage.
So funny, man. He's just crying. Come on now. TNA's crushing right now, dude. They're selling out. They're doing more, like for their TV tapings. They're going to start doing more than Dynamite as well. And then we're going to see TNA get a big. No, I don't even think for them it's about a big TV deal. I think it's about continuing to work with WWE. But if we get a three-way banger, like TNA's like knock WWE, and then we get like a three-way war, but that'd be dumb for TNA, you know? But it's not just the WWE. Like, they were getting hot before the WWE stuff. It's why WWE, I think it's just timing is everything. As Eminem would say, timing is everything, and it seems to be the key. Wrestle purists say sources indicated this past week that AEW Rampage would not be continued with the new media rights deal. The third show, likely called AEW Shockwave. Think about this, man. The third show, likely called Shockwave. So they get rid of Rampage to add the Shockwave? Nah, I think they're getting rid of Collision and Rampage. That's my conspiracy theory, because I don't know. It seems too crazy to just get rid of one and then, we're just replacing it. They would just keep the name, bro. It wouldn't. Maybe there's something to that. No, come on, Phil, you're wrong. I was laughing. Actually, no, you're wrong. I was laughing with TV, execs and Tony Khan. So yeah, I don't know. It's going to be shopped around. Who cares? It's going to be draw. It's going to 100,000 people are going to watch it. They're just going to put on some matches and no one's going to care. Julian Weeks responds to Dave here and says, "Dog, I have not seen one person on here complain about them not finishing on time. LOL. Dave just finds things to be fake mad about." Exactly. Meltzer goes, "Have any of the people mad about AEW not finishing on time said anything this week about SmackDown? Or it is just fake outrage?" See, he can't even talk properly. Or is what he meant to say, just fake outrage about one company and not real analysis? I don't know, Dave. Why don't you ask Bryan Alvarez? Isn't he in bed next to you? Can't you just roll over and ask Bryan what he's, pull your tongue out of his ass and ask him, because he's the one who argues with you about that and no one complained. That's the difference. WWE's allowed to do this because they didn't announce, and stay tuned for the overrun, like Tony Khan does. Okay, so it is real analysis. You're just friends with Tony Khan. Accept it and move on, Dave. So Meltzer, just pre-coming, dude. We're getting demon. Tossing. Yeah. You know what they make you do in jail? Toss the salad. Oh, man. Y'all like Jay and Silent Bob? That's my man. So Dave Meltzer on AEW booking Will Ospreay versus Ricochet on the 5th anniversary Dynamite show on October 2. Dave just fantasizing here. He's like, I hope they do a draw, because, I think, this is too big a potential program. It's too early for Ricochet to lose, but I don't think he should win the championship. I kind of agree with Dave here, though. Like, they're just hotshot booking this whole thing, and like AEW Dynamite, the 5-year anniversary, two dudes who have contributed really nothing. I don't even know if Ospreay's been there a year. Ricochet's been there for a month. So, but anyways, he goes, I think this should be a pay-per-view match, and I'm relatively certain it will be a pay-per-view match at some point. Okay. It should be on the pay. Like, Tony should have told a story, but he doesn't believe in long-term booking. So there you go. That can never be that. But anyways, Dave goes, basically the first match should be there to build the second match like MJF did with Ospreay. Ugh, cringes me when Dave tries to explain bad wrestling psychology to everyone. Don't listen to him. If you're a kid like Tony Khan with billions and you want to get into the wrestling business, don't listen to Dave, for the love of God. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe Dave's right about that. So Dave goes, And guys, we've chronicled this on the show so many times. I tweeted about it multiple times. So let me just give you a refresher, okay? The Beast Mortis, I think he was Black Taurus, whatever. He's a great wrestler. Don't get me wrong. I was putting him over in TNA and shit. Don't get me wrong. I like the guy. He has a match in Ring of Honor, gets taken to the limit by Commander. To the limit, dog. Like 16, 18-minute match. Commander, and now I'm supposed to believe Ring of Honor and AEW just bleed over and they just all hop around and the Ring of Honor belt can be over and all this. So this is why in Tony's universe, right? I'm trying to use their logic here. Okay. So Mortis gets taken to the limit by Commander. Dave Meltzer goes out on his show not long after, like a week later, and goes, and I've chronicled this all, and Dave goes, well, Commander's basically a jobber. Hologram's better than that, and he's not much better, but, Commander's really good, but Commander's jobber tier. And I was just like, and I speculated on my show, I'm like, well, why does he even know that? Why does he say that? How? He just took Mortis to the limit or whatever, and everyone's gushing over this Mortis, this Taurus guy or whatever. What the? And I was like, man, Dave always backhand buries people. Like, he always does this, man. Even the people he thinks he's complimenting, he just buries them backhandedly. He's so unaware, he doesn't realize he's even doing it. And so I'm like, well, why does Dave think he's a jobber? Is Tony Khan texting him and telling him he's a jobber? And like, Commander did lose that match, whatever, but he took Taurus to the limit, man, on a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. It was like Death Before Dishonor or something. So anyways, then we don't see Commander for a while. Then all of a sudden, Commander's on TV with Private Party doing Lucha House Party dance moves. They're doing Lucha House Party with Commander. Then Marina Shafir comes out and chokes him out. Commander. And I go, oh, well, Dave was right. Commander's a jobber. Wow. Like, Tony obviously told him that because and Commander's a jobber. Holy, he's got choked out by a chick and they think he's Callisto or whatever. So, and then Dave comes out here now. So after all that, Dave comes out here and goes, oh, they need to strap the rocket to the Beast Mortis and push him to a championship win in AEW. When and why? Dave, why? And also, he was just taken to the limit by a jobber like last month. I swear on my life, it was like a month ago. So what are we talking about, dude? In order for that to happen, for him to get no one can get a rocket push in AEW. Just putting a belt, I could make a belt right now, send it to Alt Jake, and it doesn't mean, okay, the rocket push means like there's no rocket to be strapped to here yet. We don't even have liftoff yet, Dave, with the whole company. So to me, it's hilarious. He gets taken to the limit by someone Dave calls a jobber, and then like a month later, Dave's going, strap the rocket to this guy. Like, where's the psychology behind that, Dave? And you're always talking about the psychology, and I know my tongue's out, Caddy, lick the ropes, Young Bucks. Crazy, man. So anyways, they need to do something with this Mortis guy because he is getting over. To who? To who? Meltzer said people don't know Roman Reigns and Mystico's a global superstar. That's what he said, and he's saying, oh, man, he's getting over, and he's fantastic. Who's he getting over to, bro? He's beaten a lot, but everybody knows he's great. Who's everybody? Dave, you and your circle jerk of friends know he's great. I think he's amazing. He has not anywhere had a push or had any semblance of anything than being like another lucha dude, bro. And gimmicks like this are hard to get over in like America and stuff. So figure it out, man. Like, understand that, Dave. It's just like the lucha stuff, right? Dave, no one's saying CMLL doesn't draw because they do draw in Mexico, Dave. So here, you got to do like a Lucha Underground thing for people to get it, for people to, and even then, people didn't appreciate Lucha Underground until later, But anyways, they've got all these belts out there. He should just win one of them. See, to Dave, it's like, oh yeah, you should just win one of them. Yeah, all these belts. Yeah, just win one of them. Yeah. That's how you do it. No long term, just win one of them. Yeah, just strap a belt to him, I guess. That's Meltzer's method. So Meltzer, though, says, guys, I need to hydrate here. Soda water now. I have a grapefruit bubbly. Dave Meltzer says when he was interviewed for the upcoming Vince McMahon docuseries, God, I was hoping they didn't interview him. I'll backtrack. Much love. Yeah, some guy, don't worry about it, man. I tell everybody that this show is so important. It's important to check out every show if you can, because I'm telling you, man, I'm always pointing out. We chronicle this. It's like episodic almost, you know. It's like everything I bring to the show, there's a purpose, and those who know. But yeah, Dave Meltzer says when he was interviewed for the upcoming Vince McMahon docuseries, which I was praying he wasn't. Every expected aspect of his story was covered. Says some people in WWE are unhappy with it, and Dave says I can only say that the director who did it covered with me every single thing that I would expect someone to cover. There were no stones unturned. What the final product is, I know there are people in WWE who are not happy with it. I don't know how far it is to Vince, but there were people there unhappy. And it's in brackets because he doesn't finish sentences. There were people there, you know, and then Alvarez comes in. Well, unhappy, right, Dave? That's why that's in brackets, because he doesn't finish sentences. Crazy old man, crazy old coot. Dave Meltzer thinks Hangman Page is a franchise player for AEW with an aura now more than he's had before. Dave is just trying to use like all the Twitter lingo now. He's like, I'm a cool dude. So Meltzer thinks Hangman has aura now more than he's had before. I disagree. I think he had more aura before, dude. I think at the start of AEW, I always looked at Hangman as a guy who was like, dude, he could be the Triple H of like WWE one day, or even AEW when that started. Like the guy who's always kind of looming around the world title. And like whenever Kenny or whoever your tip top, like Jericho was there at the time, you thought Cody was going to be one of those guys, but it was like whenever your tippy top guys aren't like holding the belt, you have him. He's like the dude, like the Triple H. He's just kind of there mid card to upper. Like I always looked at him as that. And I always looked at him as a guy that would thrive in WWE, with them able to like work with him on developing his character and what he's going to say and how he's going to be presented and all that. And I just don't like the storylines they've given him. At one point, he was doing good stuff with like him versus Kenny being tag champs and stuff like that. That, they were doing good stuff. I'm not going to say he's never been compelling to me. Like back in the Bullet Club days, I loved Hangman, but yeah, dude, this whole Swerve stuff has just left sour taste in everybody's mouths, I feel like. Anyways, though, Meltzer goes, he's a franchise player to me. He comes off to me like he could be world champion right now. Well, he was before Dave. He's really killing it. I really think that after the last match, I think people want to see him in Swerve still. No one wants to see it anymore. It's not run its course. Yes, Dave, it did. Could be the best feud in the history of the company in some ways. Oh, my God, man.
What?
That's subjective, but come on, dude. The early AEW stuff washes the last like 3 years. The first year washes like the whole last 3 years for sure. Anyways, he's got an aura now more than he's had before. Disagree. He's more confident on his promos, which is a big deal. He's always had decent promos. He's always had good matches too. I found like him and Mox would have good bangers. I know people, oh, come on now, Phil. But I always felt like when they were going to have a match, it's like, okay, this is going to be a banger. His work has never been questioned. He just comes off like a big star right now. I just disagree. I think the whole a big star to who? Like the 600,000 people watching the show. Dave, you gotta understand, to be a big star, they're not sticking needles in mouths, bro, unless they're like starring in a Quentin Tarantino movie or something, bro. So like, no, it's not a big star. That's what's crazy to me. A big star, like who? Like you mean like Liv Morgan? Oh well, Liv Morgan got slashed in a Chucky movie. Okay, that was a Chucky show or movie or whatever. We're talking like in AEW, bro. He did that needle and everything. It's just, that's not what big stars do. We live in crazy times. Anyways, Meltzer said what the GOAT says. We're getting closer to the pick. So we get another fight between these goobers. We're getting closer to the big F4W divorce of 2025. Alvarez was forced to once again take on the beast Meltzer over different DVR systems, recording the overrun for AEW, WWE. So we've chronicled this on the show more than one time. We played the argument over in the past, right? We're going to just listen. You guys know what happened. They've been arguing over this so many times. And then it's hilarious because I played for you guys or I read to you guys Meltzer's tweet about, are people going to complain about the SmackDown overrun and the DVR shit? Well, I don't know. Ask Alvarez. They get in a fight again over the same silly. I love it. Let's go. Here, I'm going to big this.
I know you were at SmackDown on Friday. You know that SmackDown actually went over and everything?
Yeah.
You know?
What's the point?
The point is SmackDown.
What are you getting at here?
Immediately. Yeah, and?
I know you were at SmackDown on Friday. You know that SmackDown actually went over and everything?
Yeah.
You know?
What's the point?
The point is SmackDown.
What are you getting at here?
That the DVRs didn't pick it up.
Did they not pick it up?
Mine didn't, except I recorded the next show. It went off right before Cody got in the ring. Roman was talking, and then it went off the air. I don't know if this is the case. But somebody tweeted me, but I've only had one person tweet me this, who said that.
So he's had one person tweet him this.
They watched it, the TNT Sports, which is the UK version, that it went off the air in the middle of the show. I mean, not, in the middle of that interview segment too. But I got tweets.
And who tweeted him that? Someone watching from the UK or someone streaming it illegally on a pirate ship, and that's why it's a UK stream. Just throwing out an X-File.
From a lot of people who were watching on DVR and didn't record, the end of the show.
They should get there together then.
Well, week one, but guess what? It's if you after week one, it's on you. It's on you.
No, don't get me started.
Dude, Dave just has to. Oh my God, dude. He just can't help himself, man. Oh, then it's on you. How funny is that, man? Then it's on you. But how funny is that? Like that he just had to bring this up and try and start a fight over this for nothing, trying to prove a point. And it's like, no, Dave, it's not. You're an idiot.
This YouTube TV thing again.
YouTube TV.
Actually, you know what? I'll bet you, Dave. I'll bet you a monetary amount here.
Why?
That if SmackDown starts to do a regular overrun, YouTube TV will pick it up every time.
YouTube TV
because they pick it up every time for NXT. Every time.
YouTube TV picks up AEW too.
No, they don't. I have YouTube TV.
No, I
watched the show tonight. It cut off.
Boom, dude. Dave, you idiot. And your own co-host is calling you out. Your own successor.
Guess what?
I cut off.
It will be when it is up. They put it up later.
Well, I know that, but how does that help me when?
How does that help you when you're? Yeah, like, sorry. Now I'm agreeing. You're in the multiverse is fusing together, bro. When we're sitting here and I'm parroting, I'm going, no, Dave, I'm pausing Alvarez and we're jinxing each other. I'm sitting here saying the exact same thing. How does that help you if you're watching it live, Dave? You stupid goober.
When I'm doing the show with you tonight.
I don't know. Well,
it doesn't help me.
Okay. So
we have to review right when the show's done, and I'm doing a review show with you tonight, and hours later, it'll be up. But I can't review the ending, I guess.
You'll complain, but
I will complain.
Okay, but the fact is that my system, if I had not recorded it, it would have cut me off on SmackDown.
Well,
but it's like, like sports, like everything, like the freaking award shows, like everything.
I will bet you anything that WWE will set it up so that it will always record 9 extra minutes like it does for NXT every week.
They didn't do it this week.
They didn't do it this week. But I will bet you if this is a regular overrun, it will be handled. It has still not been handled by AEW.
Okay, it was not handled by WWE either.
It was not handled on day one. We'll see how it goes on week 2.
Okay.
Legendary.